Alright, that's cleaned up enough to suit my purposes this evening. So if I put this down in here like that, then I drop this in like that. Now, snug it up just a little bit. Now the problem becomes I don't want this underneath there when I'm drilling, because I'll end up drilling a hole in that, and I don't want that to be a sacrificial part. So I just pull it out, and then I finish tightening this good and tight. Now I want to locate my vise. So the first thing I want to do is I want to determine what my table height's going to be, and to do that, get my assortment of drills that I'm going to use and figure out which one's the longest, and to figure out what my table height's going to have to be for me to be able to get this in and out of there easily. I mean, I can always just lower the table down, but every time I do that I'm going to mess with my little settings. And if I can avoid that, I will. So this is the longest one. So for me to be able to get this in and out of the chuck, it's going to be way down here. Now, if I chuck this way up here, do I have enough travel? No, I don't. So I don't like that plan. So I think what I'll do is I'll just drop it down when I need to get it in. Alright, so that is not the largest. Let's see. Alright, so I'm going to start with, this is 17/32 of an inch. I'm going to get a bolt to lock this down. Alright, all I need is one bolt in here, because all I'm doing is I'm stopping this from trying to get it to resist the temptation to, when the drill grabs, to spin the whole vise. So, should be okay with that. I'm satisfied with my alignment. I've locked my table down. Like that speed for this size drill. This is the type of setup where you've got the idler pulley and the intermediate pulley and the step pulleys, and then you get a whole chart, and basically you figure out your speed on the chart, and then that'll tell you where to put each belt. Alright, so on the chart up here it says, let's see, well, my drill bit is 17/32, which is just below 9/16. On the chart here it says 9/16 drilling mild steel is 590 RPM, hard steel 250. I'm thinking this is mild steel. So we're going to go with 590 RPM. Slow. I'll go with 540. It's 410. How about that? Can't get in trouble with that. Let's go 410 RPMs. I might even slow down even more to go any larger. By the way, the largest drill bit they show on that chart in there is 5/8. I'll be lucky if I can get a 5/8 to chuck up in that thing. But I might have a step shank drill bit I can use to get around that problem. Alright, see what kind of trouble we can get into. Duh. Jesus. Dumbass. forgot to tighten this. I don't even know I had this loose. Keeps the table from rotating. I think I am going to put another bolt on the other side. This also loosened up. Alright, I inserted the drill bit in there, loosened the table, re-rotated it, and basically that allowed this to pivot on the drill bit. So the drill bit acted kind of like a pilot bearing to hold it in place. So that now I've got it back, the table back the way I want it, so I can actually look down this slot. When it turned around I couldn't really see in there. Now I'm just going to make sure I tighten this down. I bet you just that one bolt properly tightened will actually do the trick. I've got so many steps between my final dimension with these drills that I'm not taking a lot off every time, so I think I'm going to just keep the speed where it was. I do want to try and get this alignment back to close to where it was though. I'm not worried about, as long as my last bored hole is straight, I'm not worried about if it's concentric to this outer diameter too much, because this isn't like it's going to be rotating around that constantly. It really just pivots. It's just an arm that pivots on a pin. So relax. Oh. Ouch. These 3 drill bits, by the way, are the ones I got at that estate sale and look brand new, and boy, they sure cutting like they are. Alright, so that last one was 9/16, and this one is 37/64. 37/64, which is, according to my handy chart here, let's see, 9/16 was 5625, 0.5625. 37/64 is actually only one step up. It's 0.5781, so this should go through no problem at this speed. And then I think we'll go for the full, well, we'll see if I get a 39/64. If I don't, we'll go with the 5/8. 5/8 is the OD. Yeah, I want 5/8 because 5/8 is the OD of that bushing. So if I drill 5/8 and then I think if I ream it, then I can get an interference fit for a light press fit in that thing. Right. I got to get myself a machinist handbook, because I believe that would be where I would find the table that would tell me. Oh, you're kidding me, right? Did that move? Shoot. How the hell did I not see that? Well, it's good I spotted it now. So is that hole crooked now? How the hell did that happen? Lock this down to see if that still tries to deflect that drill bit so much. I think that'll be all right. Hope so. Well, all of these drill bits, and I do not have a 5/8 drill bit. I did find this 19/32, which is 2 steps below. Next is a 39/64, and then 5/8. So I figure, well, since I had this one, I'll run it. This is an older drill bit. I don't know what kind of shape this is in, so we'll see. I bet you I have more than one 5/8 inch Morse taper shank drill bit. Problem is, I don't know what the taper is on that, on my drill press here, and I've never ever taken that out in my entire time I've owned it. So I'm going to avoid doing that if I can. I had just about given up on finding one. I had looked in the lot of drills that I rescued from the scrapyard, from that estate. Looked in the drills I just picked up at the last estate sale. Looked at that huge drill bit assortment of Morse taper drill bits. Even for 5/8 drill bit and Morse taper, I couldn't even find one of those. It might be one in there, but the same problem with the Morse taper shank. And I was about to give up, and then I looked here in the Wells Index Hoard, and because I remember there were a few drill bits in there, and there was not a lot, maybe like 5 drill bits in there, and what was in there? A 5/8 drill bit, and it's in excellent shape. So the Wells Hoard to the rescue. But will it chuck? Yeah, it does. Alright, that's the lowest speed on this drill press, which is 250 RPM. Not 350, 250. He said, I need about 350. See if you get that obscure reference. Now for the moment of truth. 5/8 OD. I think that's going to press in there just fine. Actually, I am going to put just a little bit of a beveled edge on the outside of this, on the outside of that right there. I said beveled the edge, but I didn't really mean that. I meant I just wanted to, I wanted to deburr it more than anything, so I just hit it with the wire wheel. Just press it in and see what happens. It's times like this that I really wish I had an arbor press. This is a bit of an, my shop press here is a bit of a overkill for this little job. But I didn't want to run the risk of tapping it in, peening over that end, and then having to deal with cleaning that up. Just going to press this in. Nice and square. And it's getting pretty late, so I'll probably quit right here for tonight. And then tomorrow, I'll go out and check the fit on the machine and ream it as necessary. I think I've actually got that bushing just a tad long for this, if I'm not mistaken, so I better stop pushing right there. Oops. Check, make sure I'm, yeah, see, nope, I got a little bit more I can go. It just got rough right there for a second. Thought maybe it bottomed out. So that's the deal. Try it tomorrow.